Hi, today we're going to read another pamphlet. Um, this one's a little bit more mystical and a little bit more whimsical. And so, what all dogs know about angels. It's traditional to begin with a question of their dancing on the head of a pin. And it's important to understand it this way because the question on how many non corporal beings could engage in a physical activity within a defined geographical location is by its very nature tied to the question of if, how, and by what terms such an event could be said to have occurred and be qualified within corporal terms. So maybe none, maybe all, or maybe one or all. The olden name for angel was Elohim, which really referred to God and his angels in a way that always suggested to me a consciousness, something like the old Greek drama, with a chorus and a chorus leader, with the angels in a kind of harmonious group consciousness echoing the thoughts of God, unless he sent one out as a messenger form, which is what the word angel comes from, which suggests something. It was from the groups of guests dancing with the groups of mummers, from which we get the word party, part and part, because its role involved interacting within corporal terms with a flavor involving more than one type, and that type presumably would also locate on the pin, whether it or they were corporal or non corporal. Perhaps one angel could dance with all elves, or perhaps one elf, for that matter, one devil could dance with all angels. Or perhaps if dancing with a group of angels, a human could occupy the head of a pin. So the whole exercise is learning something beyond our ability to understand by visualizing how something impossible could be said to have happened by coming up with a means to qualify it in corporal terms. By contemplating this question, a medieval scholar was, in a sense, reverse engineering the process by which a non corporal being could interact with corporal terms so that they could become more spiritual within the confines of their corporal nature by reflecting on a spiritual being through physical terms, and so, in a sense, joining the angels in their dance. Now that we sorted all that out, let's move on to the related subject of an angel taking flight whenever a bell is rung. Now, this is also suggesting the angelic role of spiritual being interacting in corporal terms in relationship to a physical object defining location of the event of interaction. It's also symbolic because the beauty of a bell is in the purity of its ring, which coincidentally sounds a little like the angelic voice of the chorus being a mingled group of voices speaking in unison. This was all pushed by bell advocates who lost a lot of their credibility with me over the whole Ben Franklin lightning bolt deal. Still, it never hurts to wear a few bells. Now, then, we get to the third physical object associated with non corporeal angels, which is either a sword, which is new school, or a pike or boar spear, which is old school. Again, it's associating a location of an act whose time or space is in some way defined by an object, the action associated with another party, this one being hostile, but also a non corporal described in corporal term of fallen. And it's worth noting from a canine perspective that the later can smell finer than the former. Spot is a guide dog for the spiritually impaired and the marketing director for Parley Gardner Memorial Press. Again, subscribe if you like if you like, and have